Hello, Nick. Here's the screen recording of the itinerary that I promised you. So here on the map you can see exactly where Gruž port is. It's right here, and it's that far away from Dubrovnik Old Town. So it's maybe about 20 minutes by van to go from here to here, which is where we do the pickup. After that, we start off towards Dubrovnik's very own Elafiti Islands, and those would be these three here. So this one, Koločep, Lopud, and Šipan here. Along the way, as you can see on the map here, there's plenty of bays, really nice ones for swimming, just chilling, snorkeling around, sunbathing. There are also some really nice restaurants on either one, but that might actually be a little too close to make a lunch stop since we're gonna start from Dubrovnik, let's say around 9 o'clock, 10 a.m. maybe at the latest to make the most of the day and to arrive in Korcula not too late. So after leaving Gruž, the trail takes us here, so Koločep, Lopud, and Šipan, the three islands. We can make a couple of stops. Anything you see you like, we can start. We can stay longer, of course, if you want to move quicker to the next place. Then you just let the captain know. So these are some of the pictures of places on Elafiti Islands, such as this one here and this one. This is kind of a big picture of them. So yeah, there's plenty of interesting places there. Right, and after that we continue. So we hold on a bit, decrease the map here. All right, so we continue through here where this line goes, it's where the ferry goes, and we make our way past Mljet Island, that's this one, big one here, and we make our way all the way here to Korčula, and actually before hitting the old town here, we'll stay around some of the islands here. The captain will take you in between several of them. They are absolutely gorgeous. So this one is called Badia. That's hold on, that is this one. Just a second. Right, so if we're looking on the map, that's this one here, the biggest one close to Korčula Old Town. And so this is what that island looks like. This used to be a monastery, and it's built on the island right there on the waterfront. For me, it's very fascinating. Anytime I pass by, I like to slow down and just absorb the sights. These are some of the deer that live on the islands, which is not uncommon. We got them on Hvar Island as well. And wow, they're making this really about deers, a lot of it. And yeah, so these are some of the sites on Badia Island, and as you see on the map here, there's quite a few islands, so you can pick and choose. And on a few of them, there are restaurants. Some of them are really interesting, and we've tried them in the past. For example, on this one, Otok Vrnik. Vrnik Arts Club is the name of the restaurants. There it is, right? This one right here. You can check it out. Yeah, their reviews apparently aren't as glowing as one would hope for, but the few times that we've been there, it was absolutely phenomenal every time because we tell them about our arrival and about our guests and about our guests' preferences in advance. So I really don't know where these reviews come from. But in any case, there are many other restaurants in this area that you can try, especially in Korčula Old Town, which is where I will be dropping you off, or rather the captain will be, and that is where you would spend a night. And then tomorrow, best around 9 or 10, we will pick you up from Korčula town and make our way through here. So this is a canal between Korčula Island and the Pelješac Peninsula. So this is actually the mainland of Croatia. You can see it's connected down here. So we're making our way from right here, the old town of Korčula, through the canal, all the way towards Hvar. We're passing island Ščedro, and we're arriving to Hvar's southern side. So Sveta Nedjelja, for example, is one of the places there. It's a small town. It's a wine and fishing village essentially. Right here, all the way here, are vineyards on really steep slopes. I mean, they seem nearly vertical, and the terrain just seems impossible to farm. And yet, some of the best wine comes from right this area here. Um, Hold on just a second, because here I have. This is our website and it shows the South of Hvar tour. So this one is for the boarding. And then the first beach here that we usually go to from the direction of Hvar Island. So if we're coming from Korcula, we will be going in the opposite direction. This is the one of the bays that we visit. It's called Borce. This picture doesn't really do it justice, but these are the pictures of Borce here. So, for example, this one, this is the bay that I'm talking about. There's usually about 7 or 8 really nice yachts and sailing boats and catamarans moored over there. It's super peaceful. There's no beach bars, no nothing, no noise. People just relax here. And hold on, I wanted to show you this. So yeah, the cliffs on the side are kind of really tall, as well as on the other side, which you can't really see here. So that would be this part here. This is all made out of clay mostly, and so it makes for a really interesting landscape. But that's just one of the bays. On this side, there's quite a few. Next on, we're moving to, again, this is from Hvar's direction. So since you're coming from Korčula, it will be the opposite direction. But another bay that we usually visit here is called Malo Zorace, and it's very close to the first one. And it's, as you can see right here. The picture was taken from a little path that goes all the way this way to the end of the rock, which is quite a large rock. And if you turn around, you can walk to the Bay of Zorace, and then above the road, there is the village of Zorace, all of which can be seen from the sea, from the boat, very easily. Next up, we have the red rocks. This is what they look like. There's kind of a natural phenomena. Usually, they are crowded between about 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Because a lot of boats from Hvar town come here with their guests. So after 2 p.m., it's almost always at the very least less crowded, and it's usually empty afterwards. And especially if we're talking about 19th of September or 20th of September, it's probably not going to be crowded at all. And then another one. So this is a table in front of the restaurant in a little town called Milna, which is where we often go for lunch. The restaurant there is just great. It's right next to the waterfront. You got the owner and his family actually working in the restaurant. It's a proper mom and pop business that's been going on for about 30 years or maybe more, if I'm not mistaken. And the food is absolutely delicious. So these are Pakleni Islands, Hvar's very own little group of islands in front of the town. This here is a passage we call it Zdrilca. This here is one of the most beautiful bays in my opinion, because the colors here really get just absolutely amazing with all the green and blue mixing in, and with different types of bottoms here, you get all shades, and it's just it's a very nice place to chill. And apart from that, on Parklani Islands, there are 3 or 4 places which are, let's say, popular, where there are more than 1 or 2 restaurants, where there's a lot of boats moored, and so they're also really nice. But if you prefer something less crowded, on the rest of Paklani Islands, there are another 20 or so bays. Most of them have nothing and no one on them. So finding a place to just chill out by yourself, especially again 19th, 20th of September, should be super, super easy. And yeah, this is Hvar town, so this is where we'll be dropping you off after the second day. So we're coming from Korčula, which is this way here. This is not Korčula here. This little island is called Sušac. So Korčula is further down here. We will be arriving from this direction and visiting Pakleni Islands over here. And at the end of the trip, we drop you off usually in town somewhere here. Or if you have a van or taxi waiting for you to bring you to your accommodation, we will do the drop off right here in this little port, because it's where the van can actually get all the way to the boat. This is not a place where a van can do that. So that would be the end of the second day, right? And then for the third day, we were talking about Vis. So here on our website, you can find a few pieces of info and some photos of our recommended tour of Vis. Of course, it's all the tour. Every tour is private, so it's customizable. This is one of the very, very few sandy beaches in the area. It's called Smokova. It's, as you can see, there's no facilities on it. There's no buildings or even a little beach bar or anything. There's nothing here. And right next to it, there's another little bay. It's called Mala Smokova or Little Smokova, which also has a smaller sandy beach, and also there's no one there. So that's kind of interesting to see. And it's also just a really nice place to chill out, to swim, to snorkel, maybe play some music on the boat or have some of the wine, which is always on board. Totally up to you. And of course, the captain will give you recommendations. This is another place that we love going. It's on the south side of Vis. There's just one little house here. And if you go just around the corner here, those are kind of two bays into one, just two little bays inside one large one. There's another little house there with a beach, and it's usually completely empty, the whole bay. And it's just one of my favorite bays on Vis Island. Um, Apart from that, so these are actually the small caverns. Again, on the southern side of these, they are a natural phenomena. They came about by probably millions of years of erosion, such as this one here and this one here. Although these are just kind of holes in the rock, but there are others in which we can actually enter with a tour boat, even if it is just for a minute or two, because they're just big enough for that. And that is quite an experience. I mean, I've done it many times with the guests, and every time I go into me, it's fascinating. And for someone who is seeing such a thing either for the first time or one of the first few times, it's it's really a surreal experience. I wanted to say also, apart from this bay, which I really like, there are, I want to say, countless bays on Vis Island. So, okay, this is the this is the submarine tunnel. We'll get to that as well. So, hold on, yeah, Vis Island. So this is the town itself. It's a very large bay, and the town is all around it. We usually get off somewhere around here, and then if you want to take a stroll through the town, sightsee a little bit for yourself. And then the Lipanovic winery that I mentioned in the previous email, which is the one that's dug into the side of the mountain because the winery is inside a post World War II just tunnel. I suppose I don't know what they use the tunnel for exactly, but it's perfect for keeping wine all year round because the temperature is always ideal for keeping wine. Apart from that, this is what Vis looks like from above. So Smokova Bay, the one with the sandy beach that I was telling you about, is this and this. So these two, right on the edge. Right here, there's another bay called Stončica. You can look it up on Google. It's got a restaurant of the same name, and it's one of the, in my opinion, one of the best restaurants around. They keep things really fresh, really local. They actually have a garden just behind the restaurant over here, so it's a really nice place to see. The bay that I was showing you, so that would be, hold on, I got the wrong one here. So this bay on Vis Island that I was showing you is here. So just on the southern side, sorry, it's here, just after Stineva. And so this is the entire southern side of Vis. This is where the small caverns are. And apart from this bay that I was explaining you, there are about a dozen others along the way here. One of them, right here, is called Stineva Bay. It's one of the most popular bays in all of Adriatic, and so therefore it's almost always full. Again, since we're talking about late September, there's probably going to be a lot less people, so I would actually recommend visiting it. Otherwise, I wouldn't, because even though the bay is absolutely stunningly beautiful, it is this bay right here that I'm talking about. It just gets so crowded and so full of people that most of the time it's just not worth going into. So in any case, we're passing by here. We take a peek. If it's not crowded, we can go in about as far as here, and then you have to swim inside because this is it's a protected swimmers area right here. Moving on. Oh, here is actually where I want to be. Komija town, the little fishing town on Vis Island, is in this giant bay here. The town is nestled right here between the hills. I can actually show you what that looks like. So Komija town is just absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. Whenever I get there, it seems like time stopped some 3, 4, 500 years ago or so, because the people there pretty much live the same life, they're just fishing and farming, and that's how life goes on there. This is Comija, by the way. This is like right behind this beach here is the little street where you walk, and this here is someone's house. The restaurant I was telling you about called Jastojera is this one right here. It's also on the waterfront. It's called, in English, it means lobster trap because the whole structure here was built as one giant lobster trap for keeping live lobsters. I don't exactly know how long ago. It's not being used for that anymore, but it's been converted to a restaurant by the owners. And again, this is one of the only actual true fish and seafood restaurants in the area. Again, in my opinion, this is one of the only places that I dare to order like frutti di mare pasta or risotto or something because I know it's actually going to be from the sea. So yeah, Komija is super interesting. Where else? So the trip around Vis would take us. So this is Komija here, and then we'll make our way around here. Again, on this side, there are fewer bays, but there are one or two really nice ones which you can visit. The submarine tunnel that I was telling you about is right here. So just before entering Vis port, and that looks like this, like I showed you earlier. So yeah, it's a it's a concrete structure dug straight into the side of the hill, and it used to be used for submarine repairs and also as a shelter from air raids. And yes, you can go in with the boat. We can go in with Zara, and you can make your way all the way in, like these people are here, either swimming. So it's actually quite long. It's maybe about 250 feet, give or take. And yes, you can jump from up here just like these people are doing, although it is higher than it looks on this picture. So I would advise caution if anybody in the group wants to do any jumping. Apart from that, we were also talking about Bishevo Island and its famous blue cave on it. Let's do the blue cave first, actually. So this is what it uh, pretty much actually looks like in reality. It is absolutely mesmerizingly beautiful. It's a natural phenomena. I've been told that it's 100 times better than the one in Capri. I can't attest to that. I haven't been there myself, but this is what many people have told me. The problem is that it became so popular in recent years that this kind of situation with only one boat inside is pretty much impossible. Like I said, there is a counter on their official website, and anyone can always check how many numbers are up or how many numbers are booked for that day, and it's usually in the thousands, and it's not a very big place. And the way to actually go inside the cave is, let me see if I can find it here. Bishop Island. What? So, and this is the one on the other side. I'm looking for the little harbor on the north side, which is where you take the one of these boats to take you into the cave, because tour boats are not allowed to go in, and also they can't because the entrance is just too small. And so what you need to do is get out of the boat um, to the stand over there where they sell the tickets. I mean, we can do all of this for you if you decide to go. And but the point is, you have to buy a ticket and essentially wait in line. There's also a counter over there where they sell the tickets. It's a big kind of digital monitor, and over there you can also see in live in real time how many numbers are in front of you. So worth visiting, yes, but in my opinion only if it's not crowded. Again, you guys are coming late September, so it's possible that it's not going to be as crowded as it is in July or August, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Honestly, it just became so popular. It's I haven't been there myself in about 5 years or so, and none of our guests have been. Almost none of our guests have been either. When they see the queue, it's usually a huge turnoff. So this is what Bishavo looks like. This is actually where the little port is. And if we were to make a circle all around the islands, you would also see some very interesting things. This is what the landscape looks like. Bishovo is pretty much the last island before getting to the Italian border, actually in the middle of the Adriatic Sea. It's not the one that's furthest from the coast, but there are still no other islands around it, and so it's literally been exposed to the harshest of natural environments for all these thousands or millions of years. And so the whole landscape of the island close to the sea looks like this. There's a bunch of little caverns and holes and caves. It is said that even the locals don't know exactly how many caves there are. Another really interesting thing, Medvedina, on Bishevo is this cave. It's called Medvedina Cave, the cave of the monk seal. I don't know if you know what they are. They're a type of seal that used to be very numerous in the Adriatic, but they almost went extinct. And this place on Bishevo Island was their breeding ground essentially. So when you enter the cave, uh, with a boat of maybe 20, 22 feet, you could go in maybe some 30, 40 feet or so before it gets super narrow. And then only these guys with the kayaks or by swimming, you can actually get all the way to the end of the cave where there is a little beach where these seals would actually give birth to their youngs. Anyway, that's the story about this cave and what it was used for by animals. It's inside is it's very different than actually here we go. It's very different than the blue cave because the light doesn't come in at quite the same angle, and there isn't as much of it as there is in the blue cave. So when you get a little bit inside, there's still light, but the further in you go, it gets almost completely dark during the day as well. And so we don't usually go in unless I know people are very good swimmers and I can go with them and so on and so forth. But it's very interesting to see. Here's someone jumping right in front of it. Yeah, this is what it looks like from the inside. It's literally like this in the middle of the day. So this has to be probably afternoon because the it's not that bright. So this got to be like 4 or 5 in the afternoon when this picture was taken. And yeah, so that will be our third day visiting all of these places on Vis Island and coming back to Hvar Island at the end to drop you off again for one more night. This will be the third day of our cruising. And then on the fourth day, we are literally taking you again from the town of Hvar, either here or in the little port here next to the gas station where the van can arrive. Again, round the tip here and then back towards Dubrovnik, which is this way. And so I can show you on the map once again what that all looks like. So this is Hvar Island, this is Hvar Town, which I was just showing you on the map, and then Vis Island is right here, so southwest from Hvar. This is the town of Vis, the little sandy beach over here. This is Stončica Bay. It says right here actually. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's beautiful. It's also sandy actually, and where the little restaurant is, and then going further, we pass all these islands over here. Actually, the Green Cave is right here on this little island. Probably a little less impressive than the Blue Cave, but still very nice to see. but it's also usually super, super crowded, and so this is something to leave as an option. The bays that I was telling you about are on this side, right along here. The little caverns are between here and here. This bay here, Mala Pritisina, is also that's what it looks like. It has the smallest beach that I've ever seen. This is literally how big the beach is, and so it's quite fascinating to see. Bishevo Island with the blue cave is a little bit further from Vis. So this is where the cave is, just around the corner here. This is where the little port is to buy the tickets and sorry, it's right here actually, where the little port is to buy the tickets and have a cup of coffee while you're waiting and so on. Blue cave is right around the corner here, and then Medvedina cave that I was telling you about is just here on the other side. And yeah, around here there are also a couple of bays. This is a little town. It's not exactly a town, but it's a collection of houses and restaurants. And there's also a sandy beach here, again, one of the very few. And so that would be Bishevo Island in a nutshell. And then for our way back to Dubrovnik, we would start from town of Hvar, so right here, and simply make our way back in direction of Korcula. We're passing here again between island of Korčula and the peninsula Pelješac. Passing by, we're waving to Korčula town over here, and passing by all the way here next to Mljet, entering again here in between the mainland and Dubrovnik's Elafiti island, and making our way through the canal here all the way back to Gruž port again, which is where your van can be waiting for you right around here somewhere. So I hope that clears things up at least a little bit. Wow, this is 26 minutes long. I did not know it was going to be this long. I hope it's not too long. If you got any other questions, please just let me know anytime and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. Have a great day. Thanks for your inquiry and talk soon, I guess. Bye bye.